Hey, yeah, so in my last video I said I was going to talk about some of my favourite films. Now I'm not going to talk about that today because I saw Prometheus yesterday and I kind of want to talk about that instead. This was not one of my favourite films. I think this is one of the worst films I've seen this year. It is the worst film I've seen this year. Just to let you know, this film's going to contain a lot of spoilers and people are not going to agree with me. That's fine. If you liked it, it looked pretty, very pretty film. Just the worst script ever. Just awful. Tommy Wiseau could write something better than the pile of wank script that they've written for Prometheus. Now, harsh words, I know. Sorry, I said wank. Very rude. Anyway, I'll talk about why I hated it, and you know, you may disagree. You probably will, because it seems pretty popular. But my main issue with it, other than the script being terrible, was it was just a money-grabbing whore of a movie. And what I mean by that is, one, it's a 15. You will get a large audience with 15s because you're not excluding people. That being said, that means you now can't be as violent or as gory or as bloody, and it's definitely not as violent, as gory and as bloody as Aliens and Alien and all those other films. There's a serious lack of gore, which is a shame because that's why I went to see it. I wanted to see, you know, things bursting out of people's chests and, you know, gross stuff. Hardly any blood, you know. That's not a reason to hate a film. But if you're saying, hey, we're making a prequel to this really gory film that you all love, I'm going to be a little bit pissed off. Also, the reason it's a money-grabbing whore of a movie is because they cast Guy Pearce, which is great. Love Guy Pearce, but they just dress him up as an old man. Like, you don't see young Guy Pearce. And if you're going to cast Guy Pearce, show young Guy Pearce. I don't care about... Just hire an old man to play an old man. You're just cashing in on saying, hey, Guy Pearce is in this movie. That is a naughty thing to do. Bad casting. Naughty. Michael Fassbender's in it. He's pretty good. I like him. Charlize Theron, she's in it. She's pretty good. And the main character, you know, they're all good actors, but they have been given a bad script. One of the guys did like Star Trek and the new one, and I can't remember, Monsters vs. Cowboys vs. Aliens. So, you know, Star Trek was alright, but, you know, but the other guy who did it has never written a script before, according to Rotten Tomatoes, and it shows. Like, I'm not a scriptwriter, but if this hadn't been Ridley Scott's film, and they had just handed this script into a studio, no way would have it gotten made. The only dialogue that is in it is to push the story along. And I know that's what most films do, but some films at least have a little bit of banter just for reason. But everything anyone says is always to like, oh, that's going to come back later. Like, oh, I hate that. I hate that. Just, it's awful. I mean, the other issues I have, I've kind of gone off topic a little bit. I was talking about why it's a money-grabbing whore. And it is. But the other issues with it, they are like the two main, I guess they're the main characters, the two explorers, Charlie and Elizabeth. They're really, really racist about robots. They just hate robots for no reason. And, well, I think it's because they're kind of like religious and they're, I don't know, they're just like, basically, they want to find out who made humans and they think it's these aliens, so they go find them. And then they're just like... I don't know how to describe it. They're just like... Michael Fassbender's the robot and android, whatever. And he's like, so why are you doing this mission? He's like, to see how we were made. But you don't care because you're a robot and who gives a shit about you? This kind of thing. And he's like, well... why did you make me? And he's like, because we could. Like, really nastily, because we could make you, you stupid robot. And he's like, well, imagine how disappointing that is to hear if you hear that from your creator. And he's got a point. Like, also the thing about the android robot, all android robots settings seem to be on default evil. He's evil for no reason. He's just, I'm a robot, guess I'm evil. Like, really? Really? That's a bit cliched, isn't it? We've seen that, you know, we've seen that before a lot. Could you maybe have put a twist on it? Like, I just hated it. I hated this movie so much. The one redeeming feature to it, it did look beautiful, really lovely shot. However, saying that, because it's for 3D, you need a lot more light for some of the 3D effects to work, so it's not particularly dark or gritty either, like the other Alien is, you know. It's mostly well lit. The stuff in caves, but even the stuff in caves is fairly, like, well lit. I hated it. I hated this movie. I did. Another thing that really got me, and this kind of goes back to, like, it not being very gory, it says at the beginning there's 17 crew members. Now, we don't see all 17 of those crew members. When you see 17 crew members, you're going to go, yeah, good body count. There's hardly any body count. And when they do kill someone, it's just like hitting them against a wall. Now you're dead, hit you against a wall. Like, what is that about? And also, the 17 crew members, you don't see them. It just says 17 crew members. You could have said any number. Like, why say 17 crew members and then not cast those people for those roles? Just say if you've got a cast of 10, you know, crew of 10. Like, what, it's pointless, bad script writing, bad script writing. What else did I hate about it? Oh, I hate it so much. Oh, also, back to the money grabbing whore thing, if you had just said, this is not an alien film, this is just a film about aliens, probably wouldn't have been. It's tagged itself on to Alien to make money. No kind of getting around this. This film is to Ridley Scott what Star Wars Episode 1 is to George Lucas. Pointless film. Hated it. Oh god, this feels very cathartic though, like I'm getting off my chest. Like afterwards, me and my friends went to drink and I drank heavily, just to like block it out. But just, it's just awful. I hated this film. Like, just the more I think about it, the more I just think, what was anyone's motivation for anything? And like, also there's a bit, spoiler, big spoiler, they're running away, the ship's falling on top of them. The main character just rolls out the way. The other character, who's meant to be like the captain of the ship, the boss, just runs forwards. Sorry, if something's falling on you like that, run that way or that way. Don't continue running that way. You're gonna get squished. Silly woman. What else was awful about it? Lots. Also, there's a scene where she's like asleep on the table and they're going to put her into like stasis or like, do something with her and she doesn't want them to. So oh, hang on, my housemate's back. 2 seconds. Sorry. Anyway, so she somehow gets a metal pole from somewhere. We don't know where. She just whips it out and she starts hitting them to run away to get an alien removed from her body. Now, like, they don't know that's happened to her. If I had an alien in my body and that people were waking me up to put me somewhere, I'd be like, oh, before you do that, got a bit of a situation going on. Mind if I just sort it out and then you can make me sleep and stuff. But no, she just hits them around the face with a pole. It makes no sense. Why do that? They don't know you've got weird alien in you. Aye. What else? Also, how she gets pregnant is pretty far-fetched. Now, you could just switch off your mind and just be like, her boyfriend's infected, so now she's infected because his sperm's infected and now she's pregnant. But seriously, that's weak. That is weak writing. And what else? I wrote a list. Because it was so bad. I hate this film. Also, there's this whole thing about kind of like where we come from and how creating life is all purposeful and stuff. And then her boyfriend, the other explorer, is saying that, and she's like, but I can't create life. It gets really teary. It's like, hang on, this is your mission. Did you not think that would come up? Like, why are you getting so teary about it? Surely Like, terrible script. Also, about the script and the lack of banter, there's this kind of like little joke between two of them about how there's this bet or something, like, there's just characters, but no depth to them. So, like, at the end, they decide to blow up the alien ship with their ship while they're in it. There's 3 of them left in the ship, plus several members of the crew that you never see, who are just 17 members of crew. And they're just like, yeah, we'll kill ourselves. Everyone in? Yeah. And it's just like, really? No discussion about ending your life? You don't want to maybe think it over a little bit? Maybe ask the people, the other crew members who were in the canteen, just, you know, playing cards or whatever, who aren't privy to your discussion. You just want to kill yourselves? Oh, you've killed yourselves. Well done there. Just awful. Right, I probably haven't made much sense, and I've probably spectacularly ruined it for you, and you probably disagree. But I felt that it was helpful getting these things off my chest. Like, I can't say enough. Hated the film. Hated it. Also, before I go, at the end, there's a weird octopus monster and a weird, the alien, which looks nothing like Alien, and that they're fighting, and then the octopus monster gets one of its tentacles and puts it through the alien's mouth, and then out of that somehow the alien that's more recognisable is somehow created or born or whatever, and that's meant to be like the start of the aliens. But also that's just weak script writing. Just blah. And anyway, so there's probably going to be more. I'm calling it the new Star Wars. Terrible film. But if I haven't discouraged you from going to see it, I guess that's good. You can make up your own mind. You probably, you could love it. As I'm sure many people will, and maybe it grows on you. But I suspect it won't. Anyway, God, that was long and ranty. Bye.